G'day guys, Phil McGilvray here from Grandma's Jars. Thank you for joining us for this last tutorial in our 10 tutorial series, our top tips for paying off debt. Today we're going to build on yesterday's tutorial, where what we did was put together a roadmap for paying off debt, using an example that I presented to you in tutorial 6, where I had a client come and see me the previous night, and we sat down and we built a debt repayment plan for him. So I've been working through that with you. Yesterday we built this plan here, or this roadmap, where we went through and looked at what are our debts. Starting with the smallest debt, we are going to throw all of our surplus, which was $1,006, at paying off debt number 1. And as we went through, once that debt was paid off, we then looked at the MasterCard, then the MasterCard to the Visa card. And that progression happened a lot quicker than you could imagine. By having a plan and being purposeful about the surplus funds we've got, directing those surplus funds at one debt, concentrating on that until it's gone, and then focusing on the next debt, we built a real momentum, a sense of confidence and self-belief that paying off debt is really possible. Now, the next step on from this, and the last step, which is really important, is turning this into a chart that you can stick on your bathroom mirror, or you can stick on the fridge so that you can track your progress. Being able to visualize why you're budgeting and why you're managing your money so carefully is really crucial to the process. And people get really excited about it whenever they can see that something's actually happening. Where debt repayment plans fail is where we just can't see the progress. We just can't see how we're going to get from A to B. And it's such a long slog, and we just, we're getting tempted by all these things we could be spending our money on, so that the budget plan then becomes, the debt elimination plan then becomes sort of pushed to the side. But what I want is for us to keep this, center of mind. We want to keep this a focus so that you can stay motivated by it. So I really encourage you to draw up a plan exactly like this, where month on month you can see we're focusing on this debt first, we've got this much surplus, that means at the end of the month we'll have this much left. And if you can do that month on month and draw it up maybe just 12 months in advance, and each month tick off as you progress. But also, I'd encourage you to have an extra column on the other side there where it can represent reality. So this is a plan, and I encourage you with your surplus to base it on what your minimum expected surplus would be each month. And then when those 3 pay months come in, or those 5 pay months if you get paid weekly, or the tax returns come in, you can actually pay a little bit extra off it and see yourself progressing faster than what you expected. And that's what that last column would be for, is just to show you how much quicker you're progressing through your debt. But have a chart that you can physically cross off. That physical action of crossing a debt off is incredibly rewarding. It's almost therapeutic, I'd say, to actually see that coming off. So I'd really encourage you, have a chart, stick it on your fridge. Now, the reason I'd encourage you to stick it on your fridge is so that you can get your family involved. So if you're a parent and you've got children, get them involved in the process, because you're trying something. It's a momentous task to pay off debt, and to have your kids there, and for your kids to be part of that process and to know that mummy and daddy are trying to get out of debt is a really big thing for them. And they will remember that. They're like little sponges. They will remember that for years to come. And when they come to the point where they're trying to make financial decisions for themselves, they're always going to remember the effort that mum and dad went to pay off their debt. So this can become a really good bonding experience as a family. It can provide some amazing teachable moments. And I'd also encourage you that as you go through the process, in this instance, when the client, they have their MasterCard paid off, if you've got kids, get them to cut the MasterCard up. Okay, we're not using this anymore. The debt hasn't been good for us. It's generally not good. Let's get rid of it. And that's something they will also learn forever. So have a chart, have something that's visual, have something that you can share with other people that you love and trust, and it will help you stay focused. And make sure it's somewhere where you see it every day, so that you you remember why why you're being careful with your money, why you're saying no to so many other things. You're saying no to things so that you can say yes to this and ultimately be debt free. And you would have noticed that in this process, as I said to you previously, this client had been struggling to get rid of his debt for 2 to 3 years, and we've just built a debt repayment plan that shows him exactly how he's going to do it in the next 10 to 12 months. And he was stoked by that. He was so excited by that. And when you see it, as I've said before, all of a sudden what seemed impossible becomes very, very possible. So can't encourage you enough. Build a chart. Put together a chart in a Word document, Excel spreadsheet, however you like to do it, and stick it on the fridge. At the moment, I use an Excel spreadsheet. However, we are working on an application that will put this in. You'll just be able to plug the numbers in, adjust what your surplus really was, and then it'll have a cascade effect that affects all the numbers below that. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for joining us for this series. We are absolutely passionate at Grandma Stars about helping people get out of debt. So it's such a pleasure to share this with you. I hope you find it useful. And as always, if you've got any questions, please go to our forum, post some questions there, or contact us via our contact page.